showed in the first 40 minutes. I think during the week we spoke to you guys about being disciplined and how important it was, and we certainly didn't deliver in that department. Conceding 10 penalties and 2 yellow cards in the first 40 minutes, you're never going to have a chance. Our goal in penalties is to give away 8 or less, and we've been pretty good in that department throughout the season. So really disappointing. Gave a team that's very efficient in your 22, that number of entries and opportunities you're going to concede, and that's exactly what happened.
Sean, sorry. As you said, you talked a lot about this all during the week. Can you put your finger on why, certainly 2 yellow cards were probably needless? Why does it happen?
Yeah, I can't answer for the players that have made those misdemeanors. It is pressure as well. Glasgow are good with ball in hand. They've got speed of ball. Sometimes they trap you offsides. I think we just got to be better in that regard. Pierce Skumman's yellow card, Marshall Sykes high tackle, those are individual errors. So we'll address those. But that happens in a game of rugby, especially when you're under the pump and you're defending for periods of time. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't allow you to get an opportunity in opposition's 22 because you're stuck in your own half. So it all adds up at the end of that. Penalties and turnovers are a big contributing factor to winning and losing in the game, modern game now. So it's something that we need to brush up. Like I said, it hasn't been a problem before. It's something that we'll address. Edinburgh, a team that always bounce back, and you can expect that this weekend.
Do you need to speak to these 2 players, or are they experienced enough to know that what they did was wrong and they hold their hands up?
Well, we're all accountable within the group, so they'll put their hands up. I don't think anyone does that on purpose. George Warren is a lot shorter than Marshall Sykes, so you've also got to look at that. I think you've got to look at the build-up to those type of penalties. How did we allow them to get out of that situation when we had them trapped in the 22? Maybe we need to work on our kick chase to chase harder, stay connected, then maybe that line break wouldn't have happened. But yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things. Marshall got a yellow card and he paid the price in the field.
Is there a genuine belief in the dressing room that you can overturn the deficit to get your hands on the 1872 Cup, or has it become just about the actual game now?
Yeah, well, we know we're a better team than we were tonight, and this team's shown before that after a loss they bounce back pretty strongly. So we'd expect the same thing. We were able to score 2 tries in the last 10 minutes, and if we're able to put ourselves in those positions close to the opposition try line, more often, then there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do it.
Sean, it's another defeat on the road. Is that a psychological barrier becoming kind of difficult to overcome for your team?
I suppose yes and no. It's not that the team didn't want to win tonight. Being away from home, it's not as though they take it as an excuse either. But yeah, for us, like I've said before, for us to challenge in the top 4 of the URC or top 8 in the URC or for the EPCR for that matter, we need to win away from home.
How did you find this as a rugby venue, Sean?
I enjoyed it. There's a lot of work probably went in today, and I think they were rewarded with a number of people that came out to support. Very hostile crowd. When you're at Scotstoun, it's a lot less. So it seems a lot less hostile. But yes, it lacked a bit of Edinburgh support tonight, but we'll have that next week. It'll be our turn. But I'm really enjoying the venue. Changing facilities are world class, and I'm sure Glasgow would have, enjoyed it too. And hopefully they can have more of these fixtures here in the future.
As you say, the shoes on the other foot next week when you'll have hopefully 30,000 plus of your own people. Is that an onus on the team again to really deliver for that crowd?
Yeah, I think it is time for us to deliver. We've done well at home this year, and next week will be no different. I know the guys are hurting in the change room and they all want to bounce back and make right the wrongs. Sometimes you get emotional about it, but it's a game of rugby, which is sport. It doesn't always go your way. And tonight we were put under pressure. We gave away the penalties. We know where the problem is. We have to get better at next week. If we didn't know what the problem was and there was a lack of effort and we got 60 points tonight, then that would have been a little bit different.
But you can see why it would be frustrating for fans. You have Beyond's a great performance, a great second half, and then it seems to be this constant routine that we kind of one step forward and one step back. Do you understand that frustration?
Yes, it is a frustration because like I say, 2 weeks ago play against, or a week ago play against Bayonne, and we scored great counter-attack tries and turnover tries. This week we're kicking the ball back to the opposition, so that's not what we're about. So it's about us just executing what we're good at, and having the confidence in our individual ability to be able to do that.
Is that a lack of confidence, Sean, or is it just pressure that?
No, I just
forces
think
us?
we're not talking about confidence. These are big games. You know, played in front of huge crowds of people, and we do have internationals. I understand that, but it's about being the same every week and consistent in what we're trying to achieve. And regardless of where we are, you know, our game model doesn't change. And for some reason or other, in the first 40 minutes, you know, we did go a little bit off script in what we're trying to achieve.
That's the same message you delivered after the Lions game. Is that sense of frustration that, you know, however many weeks on, we're still talking about experienced players going wildly off strategy?
Yeah, well, so we need to just be careful how we use strategy. So there's a difference between strategy and turning over the ball. What we're trying to say is that we'd like to use the opportunities that we got better. I know on 2 occasions we kicked the ball back. We spoke about it at half time, and you know, Duan had a crack. And nearly got through the whole of the Glasgow team, and that's what I would expect from them in the first half. So yeah, I think these games, there's a lot of emotions involved, and sometimes emotions get carried away with you. So it's about us just being calm and cool, and sticking to what we know.
So what do you do now, Sean? Do you ban them from Christmas dinner and make sure they have a miserable Christmas? What's the plan for the week?
We've got an experienced group. A lot of the players in our change room have got young kids, so we want them to enjoy their Christmas. But yeah, we're going to get back on Tuesday, and we're going to get back to the drawing board, and we're going to put in a good, hard week's worth of work, and turn it around on Saturday.
That's good.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.